You know what they say, do it right or do it thrice? Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 230, and today I'm talking about this idea of making sure that you get your hearing loss treated the right way so you don't have to constantly keep going into your hearing care professional for them to make adjustments on your hearing aids. But before I get into this vlog, do me a huge favor, click the like button, really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that as well and turn on notifications if you want to be notified every single time I publish a new video. That being said, it's greatly appreciated. Now, what prompted this particular topic today? Well, as you guys know, I live out here in Phoenix, Arizona. It gets really freaking hot out here in Phoenix, Arizona, which means that if you do not have air conditioning, basically your life is completely miserable and you've got to live in your car that is air conditioned. Anyway, so a couple weeks back, we had an issue with our air conditioner. And so we ended up calling an air conditioner repair company to have them come out and service our AC unit. Now, our AC unit is like 5 years old. It's not really that old. I think that some of these AC units can last for, 10, 20 years. Not really sure if that's what ours is rated for in terms of lifespan, but nevertheless, they came out. They did an assessment of our AC unit. They determined that it was going to be a $2,500 fix to fix our AC unit. And of course, that sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, the cost of everything is really high right now, no matter what it is. And so to have them come out and spend 2 hours repairing our AC unit, having that cost us $2,500, it is what it is. You have to pay it if you want to have air conditioning out here in Arizona. So we gladly paid it, had them come out within a couple of days to start working on the AC unit. We were actually not home when they were doing this, but they called us and said, hey, great news, we got the air conditioner unit fixed, you're good to go. So we end up going back home and we noticed that, you know what? It's still pretty hot here. And as it turns out, the air conditioner unit was not fixed. And so here we are again in a situation where I'm trying to record video content, and doing that without air conditioning is completely impossible because you're just sweating the entire time. Unless you guys want to see me make videos when I'm literally profusely sweating. But nevertheless, it's for a different channel. Nevertheless, so we ended up calling them and saying, hey, the AC unit is not fixed. Can you please come out and check it out and make sure that it gets fixed this second time? And they're like, yeah, we can get you in basically in another week. And it's like, wait, hold on. No, we don't have another week for you to fix our AC unit. So fortunately, Ashley, my wife Ashley, is very, how would you say, adamant about getting things done right and getting it done quickly. And so she's like, no, absolutely unacceptable. You need to have your manager call me. And so anyway, the manager ended up calling. They said, okay, we can get someone out later today or early tomorrow. I can't remember which one off the top of my head right now. But anyway, this individual came out and they had identified that the way that the AC unit was fixed by the first technician of the same company was not done correctly, right? They had done some things correctly, but other things were not done correctly. So I think it was they didn't put Freon back in the unit after they fixed it. So he he identifies this, thank goodness, and he fills it up with Freon again. And so, an hour later, we have cold air coming through the vents again. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. Okay, it was what it was. Yes, we had a little bit of an inconvenience to have them come back out. Of course, the company had the inconvenience of having to kind of squeeze us in because Ashley is so adamant that we get immediately. But that's why I love her. And so the problem was fixed. Well, fast forward another week, guess what? The AC unit stopped working again. Literally have the AC unit running, and as we have it running, it's getting hotter and hotter inside of our place. So what do? Well, I called this time and I'm like, hey, so you guys have come out 2 times now. The first person didn't do it right. The second person said that they fixed it, but the AC unit still isn't working. We need someone else to come back out and fix the problem. So hopefully third time's a charm. We had another individual come back out to the house and they went and checked it out and they're like, well, it turns out that the guy who came out second didn't actually weld the unit properly. So all the Freon actually leaked out of the AC unit. And I'm like, good golly, this is ridiculous. First and foremost, It's an incredible inconvenience on us because we had paid a really good amount of money to have the problem fixed. And, each time that the individual came out, they said, okay, the problem's fixed. We're like, great. And it's still not fixed. And then the other side of it is that the company that ended up having to send 3 different technicians out, taking 3 times the amount of time as it would have taken to just have one person do it, but do it the right way, was extremely expensive for the company. I mean, the reason that cost $2,500 to have that done is because it is an expensive fix to do, right? And so what's the moral of the story here? Well, as it relates to hearing aids, and I know that you guys are wondering how is this going to come back to how it works with hearing aids, the same concept is true with hearing aid treatment. If you are constantly having to go back to your hearing care professional because you just aren't hearing right, that's a problem. You see, we have a thing in the hearing care profession called best practices. And if your hearing care professional is following these best practices, it prevents them from making mistakes in your hearing aid treatment, which means that you actually get to hear your best and it's predictable and reliable. When it came to us having our AC unit fixed, if the individuals who had come out had followed the best practices of fixing the actual AC unit, then they wouldn't have had to constantly come back out to fix the things that they had missed, basically. And this is something that I am keenly aware of inside of our clinic. Now, there are always going to be potential mistakes that happen or things that we think that we fixed, but we didn't actually fix because there is some kind of, random thing that occurs that we are not able to predict. Like that is going to happen, and I get it. Nobody's perfect, and mistakes can still be made. But the core understanding of this is that there are certain fundamentals that must be followed in order to prevent you from being inconvenienced from a hearing perspective. And anytime that you go into your hearing professional and they are not following these best practices, it opens up the likelihood that you are going to run into more significant issues with your hearing treatment, which means that you're going to have to consistently go back into their clinic over and over again to hope that they actually land on the right fix that actually solves the problem for you. But on the other hand, the clinics that are not following best practices, if I could just sit down with these clinic owners for 10 minutes and explain how it saves them as a clinic money by doing things the right way, meaning following best practices, I could almost guarantee that they would be like, you know what? Geez, I didn't realize how much money we were wasting having to have patients constantly come back in for us to try to fix problems that we should have fixed in one visit. Okay. And, it's an unfortunate situation that we're in the hearing care profession that only 30%, and I would argue that it is significantly less than 30% of hearing care professionals actually follow comprehensive audiologic best practices. It's not good enough just to follow some best practices. You have to follow all of them. Otherwise, things get missed and you get inconvenienced. And on top of that, you just don't actually get to hear your best, which I think is probably your goal, at least if you're watching my channel, and definitely if you're watching my vlog channel. So, moral of the story here is do it right or do it thrice, right? I mean, I actually think it's do it right or do it twice. But in this particular case with the AC unit, it happened to be 3 times they needed to come out. But I just think that kind of adds a little bit to the shtick of this particular video. Nevertheless, if you guys agree with me, let me know down in the comment section. If you think it's better to do it right and do it once or do it wrong and have to redo it multiple times, let me know what you think down in the comment section. And as always, I will see you next week.